Welcome back, everybody. It's Magnolia on Money. I'm Ed Cox with your weekly market report. We got a lot to talk about today. Going to go over our 20 indicators that we look at when we're looking at the market and how healthy the economy is. So I'm going to go run through that real quick, and then also go over, the S&P is down about 3.5% year to date. So what's going on there? Let's jump into that real quick. So what we're seeing is geopolitical risk is really driving some of this. We've got the Russian-Ukraine issue going on. Our relations with China is starting to falter a little bit. So we've got those things that we're working through. Also, a big driver this year is going to be all eyes on the Fed. The Federal Reserve is going to drive this market this year one way or the other. And so what we're seeing currently is fears that the Fed may escalate or go faster than previously expected on their interest rate hikes. So we'll see how that goes. But let me switch the screen here, and y'all can see our indicators. So everything still looks positive. I mean, indicators support a multi-year economic expansion. You'll see this in the newsletter again, so you can really dive in and take a look at it. But we're really the geopolitical risk, which gets back to what I said earlier with the Russian-Ukraine. Russia has moved troops to Belarus for a joint exercise near the Ukraine border, so that's hurting on the geopolitical side. And then once again, our relations with China are starting to suffer a little bit. But from an economic indicator standpoint, we still look pretty good this year. The only indicator, which would be in the bottom right, the geopolitical, has moved from kind of right there, neutral, moving towards the negative side, which is what we just discussed. So, things we're going to look at, the Federal Reserve is going to be our driver this year, at least in the first half of the year, until we figure out kind of where they're headed. But the fear is that the Fed could, move faster than we expected. So those are things that are really hurting the market. Is the unknown. The market really does not like unknowns. We know that. So we want to stay abreast on that, and we'll keep you up to date. A couple little tidbits of information as we kind of reflect on last year to show you how good of a year we had and what the market did. The U.S. stock market grew by $12 trillion in 2021. That's up from $41 trillion. So we're at $53 trillion as of the end of last year. Just 10 years ago, the U.S. stock market was worth about $16 trillion. So $16 trillion 10 years ago, it's now $53 trillion today. So we've had one heck of a 10-year run in the stock market. So really interesting how fast we've moved there with the capitalization in the market. Another interesting point. The largest capitalized individual stock, so the largest stock in the U.S. reached $3 trillion on January the 3rd of this year. Okay. If you look back 40 years ago, the total market, so of all the market in the world, was 2.7 trillion. So how far we've come in the last 40 years. Our economies around the world have grown, capitalization's gotten bigger, and it's really, really, really a testament to how fast economies can grow and probably what we have to look forward to over the next 40 years. Another kind of on a sadder note here, the U.S. debt increased. U.S. increased its national debt by about $9.64 trillion in the last 5 years. So that's a pretty good increase, rising from $19 trillion in 2017. So one of the things that we really look at, and we're kind of wondering how that's going to end, is our debt. and the country's debt, and how we'll deal with that and maneuver through that in the coming years. Um, but just a couple of insights there. Once again, look for the newsletter. Everybody that's got a 1099 that's coming from Charles Schwab, just wanted to mention that as well, that they are now available online. You probably will be getting them in the mail over the next couple of weeks. But if you have online access, you should be able to go on Charles Schwab right now and get your 1099s. So y'all have a good week. We'll talk to you next time, and be safe. God bless, and we'll see you soon.